Number 20. I'm going to try to get a couple more done tonight, and then tomorrow's Friday, get the balance hopefully done. So on this one, we're asked to rewrite this in terms of cotangent x. Well, I can see tangent x here is, 1 over tangent x is cotangent. But there's a lot of other things going on there. What we should do is, we've got two fractions being subtracted. Let's get a common denominator and see how we go from here. Okay, so I've got, I'm just going to rewrite it, secant x, I like to put the parentheses here, tangent x, we'll give some room, minus tangent x over 1 plus secant x. And to get a common denominator, we need to multiply by each of the denominator, each other one. So here, so this one with the tangent x, I'm going to multiply it 1 plus secant x, 1 plus secant x, and this one over here will multiply by tan x over tan x. Okay, so, mark that. So that gives them a common denominator. So let's rewrite this as a single fraction. I'm not going to multiply out the bottom because let's see, a lot of times we'll get something to cancel from the top. That's what we're hoping for. Secant x, and so why multiply it out then when you have to go back and factor again? Okay, so on this side we get tan times tan, so that's going to be tan squared, and we've got the minus from here. Over here, let's distribute out, so secant times 1 is secant x, secant times secant with a plus in between there becomes secant squared x. Now what do? Well, we flip back to question 1 on when we have the test. We'll be able to see these, and let's see. Okay, I've got tan squared plus 1 equals secant. I could rewrite secant squared as tangent squared plus 1. That's what this one means right here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to replace secant squared with tangent squared plus 1 because I've got a minus tangent squared, so I'm basically looking to cancel out some of this stuff. There's just too much stuff going on here. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to keep rewriting, so I'm going to replace secant squared with tangent squared plus 1. So that's been the replacement. I sneaked that in there. I got a plus tangent and a minus tangent squared, right? So that minus that is 0. Looking good. Then I've got a secant x plus 1 and a 1 plus secant x. Addition is commutative, so I'm going to rewrite this one up here as 1 plus secant x, so it's a little clearer what's happening. Let's go back to white. So let's see, I'm going to write this 1, all that's left in the top is secant x plus 1, so I'm going to rewrite that as 1 plus secant x. In the top, in the bottom, I've got 1 plus secant x times tangent x, and then now is the time where it says, oh, that was very, very wise, little crow, that you didn't multiply out because now these cancel. Remember, this divided by this, that's equal to 1. So what's left is 1 over tangent x. We're looking to get everything rewritten as in terms of cotangent x. Well, 1 over tangent x is the reciprocal, is cotangent x. Okay, does that make sense? Because tangent, the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent, and so 1 over tangent is equal to cotangent. Or if you want to do it longer term, tangent is sine x over cosine x. So 1 divided by this is going to be 1 times the reciprocal, which is cosine x over sine x. And so that's just cosine x over sine x, but that is the definition of what cotangent is. So it's weird that the answer just is cotangent of x, but that is that's exactly what it is. Now, it's not that it will always reduce down to just cotangent at x. It might have been something else. That's what I was expecting. I was going to go, what? It just got all the way down to that. Could I just, in the future, just write this? I guess if you're completely don't know what to do, you could just say, okay, put cotangent x. But I don't think that always happens. I know it doesn't always happen, but it did here.